Hi there, me again. This one's a little late, but today's video is about a Christmas trip my mom and I took to Arizona. If you've seen my videos before, you know I shoot lots of film on these trips, so we stopped at Bedford Camera in Oklahoma City to pick up some film before heading towards Texas. I was excited to take this route to Arizona because I'd never seen western Texas before, and golden hour on the highway out there did not disappoint. We stopped in Santa Rosa, New Mexico for the night, and in the morning, we were back on the road. The cool thing about this route is a big chunk of it runs alongside historic Route 66. I sadly didn't take any pictures on the way to Arizona because it was really gloomy most of the way, but I did take a couple on the way back, so watch till the end for those. After many hours of driving, we finally made it to Arizona. It was weird that the first snow I saw this winter was in the southwest. Day 3 was the first spent at my aunt's house, and I started the morning with some expired Kodak Gold 200. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Lake Havasu. This is the second time I've been here. And we're here on the first day, which is actually turning out to be a nice day. It was supposed to be kind of cloudy today, but I don't think that's going to happen until later. So we've got a little bit of light to play around with some film. I hope you guys enjoyed those first shots that I took this morning on the Kodak Gold that was expired. But now that we're done with that, I can actually get on to some film that's not expired that I brought specifically for this trip. So I'm not really sure what format or film I'm going to shoot yet. I brought quite a bit of different film, brought a couple different black and whites, a couple different color films, and I also brought all of my film cameras. So I brought my Canon P, I brought my Yashica Mat-124, and I brought my Bronica S2A. So yeah, I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and explore, see what I kind of want to shoot today. Probably going to be some color film because I think the next couple days are going to be kind of cloudy and overcast, so that'll probably be a better time to do black and white, or maybe just save a night session for one of those days. But yeah, I'll probably shoot some color today, and probably start with 35. Maybe I'll move on to some medium format, but we'll see where the day goes. So I think where I'm going to go today is I'm going to go to the London Bridge and just kind of check that out, see what's going on down there. If you haven't seen the video I did about the London Bridge last time I was here, I'll leave it right here so you can click on that. And yeah, let's just get down there and see what we can find. When I got out by the London Bridge, I loaded up a roll of the always trusty Kodak Ultramax 400. I liked this composition, but the color and detail in this shot really surprised me. For the rest of this session, I switched to my 50mm lens. I got some really nice photos with it. I really need to use it more. After I took this photo, I saw an old couple holding hands and decided to try and take a picture of that. Sadly, I took too long to meter and I just missed the shot. Can't win them all, I guess. I stayed behind them for a while to see if I could get another chance, but I eventually gave up and moved on. Next, I stopped by the skate park to see if I could get any cool shots there. I liked this spot and I wanted to try and get a few skaters in the frame, so I metered beforehand and posted up for a minute. I got a few photos here, but this one is by far the best. I love how as you go from foreground to background, the skaters get older and more experienced until you get to the old heads at the top, just watching their kids and reminiscing. As I was headed back to my car, I saw this couple eating lunch and decided it would be a perfect way to end the roll. I almost left after that one, but I had to take one more shot because I just loved the dude's hat too much. day 4 was a rainy mess, so we hung around the house and I didn't go shoot until later in the afternoon. When I finally did get out, I went to Sara Park, which has some great trails. I wanted to shoot some landscapes on medium format, and I also wanted to try something a little bit different, so I loaded Cinestill 800T into my Yashica Mat-124 and kept moving. The clouds, however, were not moving, which made this shoot pretty unsuccessful. Lots of waiting, I finally took this one picture. I actually like it. The soft light hitting the ridges is really nice, and I like how the bottom strip of land goes right to the corner of the frame. Well, after my long excursion to take ultimately one picture, I think I'm going to pack up and head back down. And I really want to see, there's multiple paths in this park, and I want to see if I can find a good vantage point of the lake, because if I could get on top of one of these hills and shoot down at the lake one morning or evening, it would look really cool. So I think I'm going to explore that. Maybe I won't take any pictures today, but I'll at least check that area out and see if I can find anything. Okay, so new trailhead this time, and this one does look like it will take me on the other side of this little mountain, so I'm kind of feeling lucky. I think we might catch a glimpse of the lake from here. So let's get going. Okay, this path has way more potential. So I got up past the first little hump. I just climbed up a little tiny hill and I could already see the lake. So we are going to be in luck. I'm not going to take the pictures today because the clouds are just too unpredictable right now and there's too many of them. So I think they're going to block a lot of the cool colors and stuff that would pop out if there was sunlight. So what I'm going to do is plan my route, because the stop that I took takes me right here. And the lake is right behind this little hill right here. So what I need to do is just come a little bit earlier in the day, probably head up here at 9 maybe, and then that'll give me time to get over to my spot before the sun kind of rises into position. So at least now I have a plan. I took one photo today, but the main thing is I got a plan for when the weather's a little bit better. So hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. After that less than impressive hike, I went back to the London Bridge to finish up the roll of 800T. Okay guys, we are out at our first stop for some night photography, and you might see the bridge lit up behind me. It's really, really cool. They've got a lot of Christmas lights and stuff, and you can actually go and walk all through the English Village is what it's called. So I'm going to do that, see if I can find any cool shots, and let's get to it. Okay, so I got that cool shot of the boats and the bridge, and now what I want to do is go up on top of the bridge and get a closer shot of these Santa and reindeer lights. Would have loved this shot, but the Yashica Mat flares really bad, and it looks like Santa is coming out of some kind of portal. I've got to get a lens fit. This shot would have been really cool, but my light meter failed me, so I didn't get the palm trees in the foreground. The next day, I was back at Sara Park, ready to hike and hopefully take more than one photo this time. Okay, so we made it to the hill that I was trying to get to, and you can see the lake pretty well. I guess what I'm going to do now is just wait for some nice sunlight to fall over it, because there's a couple clouds in the way right now. But yeah, I'm going to set it up, and we're going to take a picture on one of my last frames of Cinestill 800T. Okay, so I took my one shot. I've got one more shot left on this roll, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go way over here because I can see this little path that leads right up into this little tiny ridge right here, and that looks like it'll give me the real view that I want of the lake with this mountain range directly behind it. So we're gonna head over there. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, and hopefully the light's right when we get over there. The hike took me a little over an hour, but as I went up in elevation, I knew it would be worth it. Wow, this view, super worth it. I'm gonna walk a little bit farther so I can try and line up the lake and the mountains, but what a good decision to come out here. Oh, okay, so I just framed some stuff up with the Yashica, and I think what I want to do to get the composition I want is go straight up the top of this mountainside. It's not very far, it's only like, I don't know, probably 150 feet, but I think doing that I'll get a little bit more height and you'll be able to see the lake a little bit better, so I think it'll be worth it. Also, there's still a cloud hanging over the lake, so it seems like I've got a little bit of time. So, let's head up there. Oh, that was much harder than I anticipated for just that short little climb. So I'm glad I didn't decide to go very high. But this spot looks pretty good. Looks like I'm gonna get a composition that I like. I'm just going to meter it and figure out what settings I'm going to shoot at. I'm assuming I'm probably going to shoot like f/16 at 1/500th of a second. Quite a view though. Alright, cool. There it is. Okay, so now that I've finished this roll with the Yashica, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to my Bronica S2A, and I'm going to load it with some Portra 400, and I'm going to take the same shot so that you can see them side by side and see the differences. I didn't know it yet, but this roll of Portra 400 that I'm loading into the Bronica would probably be the best full roll of medium format photos I've ever shot. Okay. Also, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this area, Lake Havasu City sits directly on the border of Arizona and California. So, actually, the far shore of this lake is California. Pretty cool. Let's move on. You know how I said this was my best full roll of 120 film to date? Well, here's some more of those photos. Let me know what you think. I'm really happy with the minimalist composition here, and the exposure turned out just how I imagined it. On day 6, I decided I would go search for coffee and shoot some Fuji Acros 100. I didn't find any good coffee shops, but I did find this gated community called Los Lagos, which was really cool. Here's a few photos from there. This was my last evening in Arizona, and I decided to catch the sunset at Sara Park. I shot this landscape on Acros and that magical roll of Portra 400. Being out here alone at sunset was really nice. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but I just felt at peace. That was it for my Arizona adventure. My last photo here was actually my first ever star trail. I took it on that magical roll of Portra 400, and it was a 2.5-hour exposure at f/8. Not bad. And now I'll leave you with the last photos from that same roll of Portra 400 taken on Route 66 of a gas station that was actually used in the movie Cars. This was a long video, so if you stayed this long, really, thank you. I worked really hard on it. I've got lots of videos planned for the future, so hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.